supporting terrorism. They're 3 years in jail. The third article, which is very amazing, that all this process to capture those and sentence them will fall in 3 days only. Now in Egypt, they are speaking about human rights and say we are taking the people to the military courts. What about France?
Why is it that they can do it and we are not allowed to do it?
That's the question is going to be the main topic on this discussion. Why are they allowed themselves to do that? And this is the multi-standard way of treating with the situation. I don't call it a double standard. It's not a double standard. It's a multi-way of standards to deal with this situation. And let's go further. What are the main measures that the United States and the European community took to face terrorism outside their countries and all over the world? See what are the measures and what are the measurements they are taking inside their country. This is the main question. So this is why we are emphasizing on this issue.
When you talk about the multi-standards or multi-way standards, why is it that the whole world was condemning the killing of the people in Charlie Hebdo, and we're not supporting that?
Condemning will not cost you anything.
But human rights organizations voiced their discontent and their concern. Yet, since yesterday, when it was announced that the Jordanian pilot was burnt alive, which I believe the Jordanian government said it was carried out on January 3rd. But when this was made public yesterday, we just heard some condemnation, but we didn't hear the human rights organizations out there making an issue about how you can actually burn a person alive.
Because they are completely sold. Their opinions, their movements, their voices, their whatever, they are sold. Money is playing the main role in the game of terrorism. You can buy whatever the organization is. You can buy what the party is inside the country. You can buy whatever a gang of terrorism contractors. You can buy anything. Just to assess, for one thing, the national interest of a country like the United States and Israel and Turkey and whoever. So this is why. This is a matter of using all the tools, because playing politics is a matter of using tools. This is one of their tools. Using money, using these gangs, using even the international organizations, even the international community in a way or another. So this is why we are facing all this. When President Sisi said we are facing all these threats from all over the world,
big international.
This is a true saying, a true verbal way to express how far is the threat, how deep is the threat, how it's organized and assessed before, because they are assessing before turning the area into this big mess. In the same time, they are using the tools inside the area and outside the area. So let's see about the international community of intelligence. When any conference was held on the background of supporting the Muslim Brotherhood, you find the New York Times, Washington Post, the Jerusalem Post, Haaretz, Al Jazeera, CNN. This is a system of system. This is a system of system. It's playing together to assess for the United States strategy in the area. And I told you before, they were trying to leave out into South Asia. Now they were held to the area because of June 30 revolution turned everything upside down.
Yes, the calculations differed. Why is it that even though Daesh and the Houthis and Hamas and whatever they're allegedly claiming that they're those Islamist organizations that are out there to unify and build the correct Islamic world, whatever.
That gives you an indication that all these organizations are intelligently penetrated.
Why is it that you probably just answered that? What brings me to the fact the real enemy should be Israel. How come we didn't see Daesh attacking Israel?
And they wouldn't do that because there are limits. They are penetrated intelligently. All the intelligence of these countries are penetrating these organizations and directing them according to their interest, as what I told you.
Let me address your military side here. What took place, this latest attack in Sinai, this atrocious attack where tens of lives were wasted, the way it was carried out and designed, is this an amateur plan?
No.
The type of the strategy, the attack strategy, and more importantly, the facilities used, the arms used.
When you see the terrorism using this suicide attack, you can analyze simply that they lost everything. They lost everything. This is the last way for terrorism to use the suicide attacks. So we know that in the last 3 or 4 months there were many successful operations, military operations, that killed a lot and injured a lot and captured a lot of those elements, the terrorism gangs that work in the area of North Sinai. On the other hand, they lost all their storage of weapons, cars, motorcycles, and ammunition.
But don't they still get them through some tunnels that are set up in homes?
They got the last amount of explosives from unexpected way. I expect them, some of them that came through the sea, some of them came through the tunnels.
Because we heard that some of the tunnels are right here in the homes.
No, one of the tunnels reached 1 kilometer, 750 meters. It's a long tunnel. And at the same time, we are trying to minimize these tactics through using detection ways to define where are the tunnels exactly and where are they are going into branches and where are they are going from north to south and from east to west. So this is a very complicated way to control it. But we are controlling most of them now. But you can expect that one of them can be used in such operations.
Some are saying that the tunnel strategy, this is an Iranian methodology.
Yeah, because they are referring that to Hezbollah in South Lebanon. When the operation of 2008 and 2006 and 2008 against Israel. So they let the Israeli army to pass through and penetrate to a specific area. Then they came out from these tunnels behind this army and started their guerrilla operations. This is unconventional way of fighting. We know it well. But in this kind of operation, we know the way how they use tunnels. It's not for fighting only. It's for fighting and supplies.
The worst part is the supply.
And mainly for supplies. But they can't fight us through tunnels.
So after the latest attack on Sinai, just seeing all those caskets, the caskets that came from Sinai with all the people that were killed, this really put a very, very dampening mood.
Of course.
For all Egyptians, because this is not the first time that we see this mass killing, this strategy. Do you have anything to be concerned about? Because people are scared.
No, I don't think people are scared. I see people are stuck with this kind of operation, but they are not scared. Because when you move through Sinai area, you go to deal with the people up there, the movement of the people is very normal. It's lifestyle.
I'm not talking about people there. I'm talking about people in Cairo, for example. When we follow what's taking place in Sinai, people are concerned.
I can ask you a question. How could you come to your work, and how could I come to you here, and how this program is functioning in front of all these viewers? And I think it's to afraid or to be scared is something different. Life is life. Social life is going on, and production facilities are existing, and everything is existing. It's not a matter of scare, but it's a matter of we have been stunned because we used too many victories, too many hard strikes against terrorism in the last, as I told you, 3 or 4 months. Now it turned the wheel to something that we can be stunned. What had happened? We are asking the question, what had happened? What had happened was unconventional. This is a car, depending on the human aspect of how the Egyptian armed forces dealing with the people according to the human aspect, and I was one of the people who refused this human aspect to deal with during dealing with terrorism and fighting terrorism. Don't use or don't approach this human aspect because you don't know anything about the human aspect. But we are obliged to that. We have to do that because there are many civilians all over the area.
Yes.
They need water. They need supplies. When I allow this cargo to go with this water and change its direction all of a sudden to hit the camp.
Your Excellency, we have to wrap up, but before we do so, what message would you be directing to those that still have interest in Sinai, which is a precious, very, very precious land to you?
Let me tell you something. The history is telling us there is no way that terrorism can defeat a state or a country. It didn't happen before. And Egypt is a country and a state. It has a president, it has a national army, it has national institutions, it has a national reconciliation. And at the same time, we can face all that together. But in the history, we didn't hear before that terrorism could defeat a state. So this is why we'll defeat them, we'll kill them, we'll finish them.
Major General Hamdi, thank you very much for joining us. And on that note, I'd like to wrap up. And as the gentleman said, terrorism cannot defeat a state, no matter how well-trained or how well-funded the terrorist entities happen to be. It will not defeat Egypt. And on that note, we wish you a very pleasant evening and good night.